When someone opens a credit report for the first time, the document often looks complicated because it contains lists of accounts, numerical information, and terminology that may seem unfamiliar. Yet the report actually follows a consistent structure designed to organize financial history in a way lenders can quickly interpret. The topic of this lesson, how credit reports are structured, is about understanding the structure so the report becomes easier to read and analyze rather than confusing or intimidating. A credit report is essentially a detailed record of how credit has been used over time, and that record is organized into several sections that together form the complete credit profile lenders review when evaluating financial risk. The first section of most credit reports contains identifying information associated with the consumer. This portion typically lists the individual's name, possible name variations that may have been used in financial records, current and past addresses, and sometimes employment information that has been reported to the credit bureaus. Although this section does not directly affect credit scores, it plays an important role because it helps the credit reporting system match financial accounts to the correct individual. When lenders review a credit report, they often begin by checking this section to confirm that the report belongs to the applicant they are evaluating. After the identifying information section, the report typically moves into the most important portion of the document, which is the listing of credit accounts commonly referred to as trade lines. Trade lines represent the financial relationships between the consumer and lenders. Each trade line contains several pieces of information that help explain how that account has been managed over time. The report records when the account was opened, the type of credit involved, the original loan amount or credit limit, the current balance being reported, and the payment history associated with that account. Payment history is particularly significant because it reveals whether obligations have been paid on time. Every month that a payment is made according to the agreement becomes another entry in the account's timeline. Over time, these entries create a detailed record that lenders analyze to determine reliability. When payments are consistently made on time, the trade line reflects a stable financial relationship, while missed payments may signal potential financial difficulty. In addition to payment history, lenders also review balances and credit limits on revolving accounts such as credit cards. These numbers reveal credit utilization, which describes how much of the available credit is being used. High utilization may indicate financial pressure, while lower utilization often suggests responsible management of available credit. Another important detail within trade lines is the age of the account. Older accounts show that the consumer has maintained credit relationships over longer periods of time, which can signal stability and experience with managing credit obligations. Because of this, lenders often pay close attention to how long accounts have existed within the credit profile. After the trade line section, most credit reports include a record of credit inquiries. Inquiries appear whenever a lender or financial institution accesses the credit report as part of evaluating an application for credit. These entries show when the report was reviewed and which institution performed the review. Although inquiries generally have a smaller influence on credit scores than payment history or balances, they still provide context about how frequently someone is applying for new credit. A large number of recent inquiries may indicate that a consumer is actively seeking multiple new accounts within a short period of time, which some lenders may interpret cautiously. In addition to inquiries, some credit reports may include sections for collection accounts or public record information associated with financial obligations. Collection accounts typically appear when an original creditor transfers a debt to a collection agency after payments have stopped for a significant period of time. These accounts represent attempts to recover unpaid balances and can affect how lenders interpret the credit profile. Public record information may include certain legal events related to financial obligations, depending on what information is reported to the credit bureaus. While these sections can influence how lenders interpret the report, they represent only one portion of the overall financial record. When all of these sections are viewed together, the credit report begins to resemble a structured timeline of financial behavior rather than a random collection of accounts and numbers. Lenders reading the report are not focused on one isolated item, but instead look for patterns that develop across the entire file. They may evaluate whether payments have been made consistently across multiple accounts, whether credit balances are generally controlled relative to limits, and whether accounts have been maintained over long periods of time. By examining these patterns, lenders attempt to determine how reliably a consumer manages credit obligations. Understanding the structure of the credit report allows consumers to see the same patterns lenders are evaluating. Instead of reacting emotionally to a single negative entry, someone who understands the report structure can analyze how that entry fits within the larger credit profile. A report containing several long-standing accounts with positive payment histories may still appear stable even if one account reflects past difficulty. On the other hand, a report containing several recent missed payments may signal greater concern even if the overall number of accounts is small. Recognizing these patterns requires understanding how the report organizes financial data. Within the credit strategy framework, learning how the report is structured is an important step because it allows consumers to interpret their own credit profiles with greater clarity. When the structure becomes familiar, the report stops looking like a confusing document and instead becomes a readable financial history. Each account contributes information about how credit has been used, and the entire report forms a timeline that lenders review when evaluating risk. By learning how to read that timeline, individuals gain the ability to analyze their credit profiles more effectively and make decisions based on a clearer understanding of how the credit system records financial behavior.